And last but not least, things that are going to stay in the future, much less to the disapproval of a lot of politicians, games are going to still be around. And the story that came out last week, and I said this on my podcast, was Dianne Feinstein was saying the games are just, it's the usual. They're a terrible influence, that kind of crap. But now she's decided to step it up a notch. She's decided to go out there and say something even worse. And once again, I'm gonna lose my shit. Gonna lose my shit. Gonna lose my shit. She is now saying that games are simulators for kids to be practicing violence. She says that it enables the individual to become much more familiar with that depiction of death and blood. Of course, it's not the way it is in real life. You're serious? Are you really that serious? You think that a video game simulates and gives kids the idea to practice violence? You really think that a game like Call of Duty makes kids immediately go, I need to get a gun and start shooting people? Are you seriously going to do this? I made most of my arguments last week, but I'm going to pull up something that was very, very, very informative on what it really does. And they're going to love that I'm plugging it right now. If anybody knows of Penn and Teller, the magic duo, the comedic magic duo, they had a show for 8 or 9 seasons on Showtime called Penn and Teller's Bullshit. And they happen to have an episode on violence in video games, specifically for kids, for younger kids. And they brought in this 10-year-old who looked like the sweetest little thing you'd ever seen. They brought him out to a firing range and had him shoot an AR-15, I think. It was an AR. I know it was an AR. And it basically had 3 rounds in an assault rifle to shoot at a firing range. This kid played everything. Call of Duty, Band of Brothers, Ghost Recon. Like, he played pretty much any shooter you could think of, and especially like the explodey ones and limbs going off and all this. He was playing very violent stuff for his age. And he decided to take the first shot. You can tell it scared the crap out of him. And he did not want to fire the other 2 bullets. What they showed at the end of the episode was him literally bawling in his mom's arms because that thing literally had shaken him to the point of crying. Because he simply learned the difference between reality and fantasy. I have never seen anything else explain the true reaction to someone who plays a violent video game and tries to practice it in real life. Video games do not cause people to go and kill someone. They do not make people want to kill someone. They are simply tools of entertainment. Just like films are, just like music is. It's entertainment. Stop trying to make the connection to something that isn't there. I've played shooters for the longest time. I'm 25 right now. I've been playing shooters since I was 13. And we're going back to, Doom and Wolfenstein and all those other games. Up until now with Call of Duty. I have never fired a real gun in my life. That isn't just because I'm Canadian. I've had the opportunity to. I've never fired a gun before. I have no intention of ever doing so. Because I know the difference. Because I know what the difference between reality and fantasy is. I know that if I took a gun and shot someone in the head, I would not be getting 100 experience points. I would not be leveling up. I would not be winning. I would be a murderer. I would lose. I would be in prison. That is reality. And that is not what video games are conveying. So please, if you're going to take a shot at games because it's something that you don't understand, Because I guarantee you this woman has never played a video game in her life. She simply watched something on a screen and saw blood and said, "Oh, what is that? That is terrible. How could children do this?" Until you actually spend some time and playing something that isn't just, gory and splashy and flashy and whatever other thing that seems to excite you. Play a game like Ico. Play a game like Braid. Play a game like Journey. And you will understand that this medium is the fastest growing medium out there and will slowly take over as the best and the most respected medium in this business. And if you want to keep taking shots, by all means go ahead. But to anyone with any bit of logic, they will never take what you say seriously. And 20 years down the road, we'll be the ones in office, and we'll be the ones saying that games are the shit and it's never going away.